Hi, I'm Kirk Cousins, quarterback of the Washington Redskins. Reddit, ask me anything. My wife made me aware of that subreddit about a month ago, and we really couldn't figure out why it is there, but it's cool, and we appreciate the positive support. It means a lot. God, that's a tough question. I can pretty much sing the No Strings Attached album or the Millennium album from heart all the way through on both of them, so that's an impossible one to call. Am I right? I mean, that's like asking you to pick your favorite child. D. Chade, I appreciate the fact that you think I'm awesome. I'm sure if we hung out, I would think the same about you. That's a great question to Fromaster. What was my favorite football moment from this past season? I think the fact that on day after Christmas, we won the NFC East in a very well-played game, and we won at the Eagles. I thought that was just a very gratifying moment, and at the time I said that it was probably the most satisfied I'd ever felt as a football player, and I would probably still stand by that comment now. In addition to that, during the national anthem of the playoff game, when we had the flyover and all the excitement generated through the whole season, and it kind of culminated in that game and that kickoff, I've never felt that much excitement before a football game, and makes me want to get back to that moment because it was that special. And to think, if we could keep winning, where we could go to is pretty exciting. I think 10 is pretty much the ceiling because it was 1 to 10 was the rule, but if we're going to go beyond 10, the only politically correct answer I have is infinity. So if you can make the infinity symbol on the computer, which is a sideways 8, I'd appreciate it. Ooh, I've never been asked that question before, and I'm shocked that the rest of the world has never asked me that question in 27 years of life. They gotta be, right? I mean, it's between two pieces of bread. I'm gonna go yes, but I'm more liberal in the sandwich framework than most. It's a fringe sandwich, and I refuse to, it can't be considered a central sandwich. It's a fringe deal. That's a good question. I think the one receiver I would pick around the league to throw to is Antonio Brown. Just how quick he is and how sudden he is with the football. He's a war daddy.
What's a war daddy?
It's just a guy who just fights and just gets the most out of everything he's got, and competitor. You can just see it on the film, the way he plays 100 miles an hour. And he played at Central Michigan. I'm from Michigan, went to Michigan State, so I kind of got that connection too. But I have a lot of respect for Antonio Brown and the way he plays. Again, just an awesome question. The key to getting better at throwing a football, I would say first of all is just reps. I used to watch TV. I used to watch games on TV, and I would be holding a football the whole game and just have a ball in my hands. And I always look back now and feel like just holding a football and kind of tossing it up in the air as I lay on my back, I think just the repetition of feeling the ball in my hands enabled me then when I went out and played to be more natural with the football in my hands. So it's all about reps, and don't let anyone tell you that the way you throw it isn't the right way. I think everybody has their own niche, their own way, and if you look at the 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, every one of us throws it a little different, and the key is to find the best way for you to throw it. The "you like that" phrase continues to grow. I keep waiting for it to die off, but I keep hearing it, and it's just kind of associated with me. And while I was in London, it was explained to me that the striker from France, Thierry Henry, had a phrase that he used in a commercial where he said "va va voom," and it followed him his whole career. It'll be interesting to see if "you like that" has a similar following in the years to come. How many times in a day do I hear it? I'd be guessing, but 10 plus. The reason is people say the phrase so much. I mean, the fact that I was able to trademark it is kind of funny because everybody says it all the time as a serious question. So you'll find you'll hear it a lot if you're listening for it. Yeah, it's interesting that fluid dragon's breath was able to make that connection, but it was funny how, I guess I took it as a compliment that our little phrase, "You like that," reached all the way to the Green Bay Packers locker room, and they lost the next week. I mean, it happens in games. The NFL is up one week, down the next for all of us, so it's funny. I've definitely gotten trash talk from other players who say, "You like that," to me after I get sacked or a ball gets tipped at the line of scrimmage. "Hey, Kirk, you like that?" So it comes with the territory. It's all in good fun. What makes the NFC unique is the 4 teams have a major history. They go way back. I mean, the Redskins were founded in, I believe, 1932. The Cowboys are considered, quote-unquote, America's team. The Eagles have history that goes way back and a loyal fan base, and the Giants are the Giants. I mean, how many divisions have 4 iconic NFL organizations like that? And so whether the teams are 3-13 or 13-3, they're going to have a lot of coverage. There's going to be a lot of interest. There's going to be a lot of discussion and a lot of excitement. And I think that's why it's a huge privilege to play in that kind of a division. So much history and so many iconic names and coaches, and that's going to always add to our division and give it a little bit of extra oomph each year. These are really good questions. I wish our DC media would ask questions like this more often. How does it differ? There's a lot more time in the hotel room where I'm just sitting twiddling my thumbs, and it gets pretty annoying. When our schedule comes out at the beginning of the year, one of the first things I do is see how many 1 o'clock games we have, because I want as many 1 o'clock games as possible. But there's a catch there, because the better of a team you are, the more you're going to have night games and 4:30 games and Monday night games. So the more 1 o'clock games you have, you probably didn't have the best season the previous year. So while I like 1 o'clock games, if we want to go in the right direction as a team, I hope we have a lot of night games going forward. I mean, I just end up sitting in the hotel room and I watch some film on my iPad. I take notes, draw plays. I draw plays over and over in my journal until the whole page is just filled with chicken scratches of plays. And then usually my brain's just fried, and it gets to a point where you've crammed everything in that you can cram, and I turn on the TV and just watch Netflix and watch an Office episode to kind of clear my head before I get on the bus and go to the stadium. So there's a balance of preparation and then just trusting it and resting. Danny Boy 15. It used to be Stephen Bowen. He was far and away the funniest guy on our team, but now he's on the New York Jets. Tom Compton, who is a reserve offensive lineman for us, and you may have heard him mentioned many times in games where they would say number 68 is now eligible. He is the funniest guy in my opinion because he's got some subtle humor. Spencer Long is really funny. He kind of came out of his shell this year. He was a rookie last year and was pretty quiet, but this year he came out of his shell, and he started singing songs on the plane as we would travel. He would sing songs to the tune of Walking in Memphis, but he would change the words every week to whatever was going on, and he did it in a way that we'd all laugh. I guess that's kind of an inside joke, but it was a lot of fun. That's a great question. We have a very good relationship, and it's been that way since day one. I remember the first day we met after the draft, getting to the hotel for rookie minicamp, and he was helping me with some cut-ups on his laptop, showing me plays, and that kind of help and working relationship continued all the way through for 4 years, up until the very last week against the Packers as we worked together to win that game. So, things change from year to year. I have no idea what's going to happen with my future or with Robert's, but I know he'll be successful in whatever he does. He's very intelligent and a hard worker, and those two things carry you pretty far. The QB draw against the Ravens is we call 2 plays in the huddle, and based on the look the defense gives, I will either throw it or run it. So when you break the huddle, you still don't know what's going to happen, and you really don't know until you say hut. The Green Bay Packers game, when we ran a quarterback draw for a touchdown, that was different. That play actually did have some options on it, but we had a pretty good feeling it was going to be the draw. And in practice, we ran it, and it was so wide open you could drive a truck through it. And the coaches said, there's no way it's going to be that open on game day. And sure enough, on game day, it was that open. And it's a good thing it was, because I appreciate the time, because I'm not the fastest guy in the world. So hopefully coaches can keep drawing up plays like that where it's wide open. Very, very impressed with the questions today. They were even better than my first session back in late October. So can't say thank you enough. Again, I would love to see some of the local DC media companies hire some of you guys. Maybe you should put your applications in if you're looking for a job. And hopefully we can do this again sometime. Thanks for cheering us on. Go Redskins.